because I have something worth living for.
In the realm of fantasy, nothing is more powerful than the boy who lived. Harry Potter isn't just a book series, it's a global financial black hole that prints money in 7 languages. JK Rowling built a world with magic wands, flying cars, and invisibility cloaks. It's a place where problems are solved with a quick Avada Kedavra or a timely friendship bracelet. You'd think all that success, influence, and actual magic would make you immune to the petty squabbles of the mortal realm, but you'd be wrong. Because it turns out that not even a multi-billion-dollar wizarding empire can escape the most terrifying villain of all, the law. This is Harry Potter Gets His Ass Sued. Now let's start with the most dramatic courtroom showdowns, the folks who claimed Rowling stole the whole damn thing. First up is the case of Nancy Stouffer. Back in 1999, this American author came forward claiming Rowling had pilfered ideas from her 1984 books, The Legend of Ra and the Muggles, and a kid's booklet called Larry Potter. Yes, she claimed she invented the word muggles and had her own dark-haired, bespectacled boy named Larry. Rowling and her publishers decided to preemptively sue Stouffer, asking the court to officially declare that they hadn't infringed on anything, and then things went full courtroom drama. The court found that Stouffer had actually perpetrated a fraud on the court, submitting false documents and lying under oath, even changing pages in her book years later to retroactively insert the word muggle. She lost, was fined $50,000 for her intentional bad faith, and Rowling proved that she might use a quill, but she does not need a time turner to falsify documents. Then there was the estate of Adrian Jacobs, author of the 1987 book The Adventures of Willy the Wizard, No. 1, Livid Land. They claimed Rowling lifted plot points for Goblet of Fire. The alleged similarities? Both Harry and Willy have to figure out a contest task aided by clues from helpers in a bathroom to rescue human hostages imprisoned by a community of half-human, half-animal fantasy creatures. Look, if you're going to steal a plot point, at least make it something less specific than clues from a helper in a bathroom. Now, while the UK case was eventually struck out because the plaintiff failed to pay the court-ordered security, the mere fact that a judge had to ponder the legal commonality of bathroom clues is pure Wizarding World absurdity. But let's be honest, JK and Warner Brothers have spent just as much time on the offense, ensuring that nobody profits off their magic but them. The most infamous case is the one against Steven Vander Ark, a loyal fan and librarian who spent years compiling every single obscure fact into a meticulous online reference guide called the Harry Potter Lexicon. Rowling even praised the site. That is, until Vander Ark tried to publish the lexicon as a book. Then suddenly he was enemy number 1. Rowling sued, arguing she had plans to write her own official encyclopedia for charity and his book would, quote, hurt the proceeds. The irony of suing your most dedicated fan for being too good at archiving your work is not lost on us. She eventually won a permanent injunction preventing the book from being published in its original form, proving that the only person allowed to make money from Harry Potter facts is the person who created the facts. Speaking of small things making big problems, remember the Canadian folk band The Word Sisters? Well, Warner Brothers wanted to use the name The Weird Sisters for the band in the Goblet of Fire film. The Word Sisters, who owned the name in Canada, declined the measly $50,000 offer and sued. This minor music rights squabble became so intense that the band reportedly received death threats from furious Harry Potter fans. The case was ultimately dismissed and the band was ordered to pay the studio's costs, with the judge calling their action highly intrusive. All that drama, all that legal debt, just because they didn't want a fake rock band stealing their aesthetic. And finally, we turn our attention to the international market, where copyright law is more of a suggestion. The global success of the series naturally produced some truly bizarre knockoffs. For instance, in Russia, we had the book series about a female apprentice wizard named Tanya Grotter, who instead of a lightning scar, had a lightning bolt-shaped mole. Tanya's publishers argued it was a parody, a fair use defense. The Dutch courts disagreed, banning the Dutch translation. The Russian courts, however, let the Grotter series continue, which means somewhere out there, Tanya is still battling her own version of Voldemort with a magical double bass. But the true masterpiece of plagiarism has to be the Chinese knockoff Harry Potter and Bao Zulong. This unauthorized sequel, which translates to something like Harry Potter and Leopard Walk Up to Dragon, became infamous because the author clearly got tired halfway through and decided to just copy J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. Seriously, Harry Potter was just suddenly wandering around scenes lifted directly from The Hobbit, but with all the names changed. That's not a sequel, that's fanfiction fever dream. So there you have it. The price of being a billion-dollar literary phenomenon is an endless torrent of legal action. Whether it's dodging claims of plagiarism from a fraudster, crushing the dreams of a meticulous fan, or chasing down a book that turned Harry Potter into Bilbo Baggins, the legal battles of the wizarding world are almost as legendary as the books themselves. It seems even when you control a realm of infinite possibilities, the one thing you can't conjure away is a copyright infringement lawsuit.